Okay, this is lesson 17. Start from right here. Itmar. Itmar means it has been stated, and maybe the word would have been in full. It would say is amar, which means it has been said. So we learned that Itmar is a statement from Amiroim, and we're going to see this. So Itmar, it has been stated by Amiroim, Mafkir Nezakov. If someone makes onalis the debris, broken pieces, we'll add that in. Someone makes onalis the debris. So notice he takes something, let's say a Snapple bottle, he throws it on the street, and now you have a bunch of broken glass on the street. So Rabbi Yochanan and Rabbi Lazar. It's a machlekes between Rabbi Yochanan and Rabbi Lazar. What's going to be the din? Is it going to be chayev when that causes damage, or is it going to be pater when that causes damage? Why should you be pater? We'll have to figure that out. But we did have similar things to that before. Maybe you're only chayev if you own it. We'll see. The problem here is that chadam are chayev, chadam are pater. One says that you're chayev, one says that you're pater. We don't know who says what. And we also seem to have a machlekes about this earlier. So the Gemara is going to take on two things. First of all, the machlekes that we had earlier about this is a machlekes tanoim. And we never like when there's a machlekes amiroim that's the same as a machlekes tanoim. Again, the amiroim are in the Gemara and the tanoim are in the Mishna. So let's say that the period of Tanoim ended in year, let's say in the secular calendar, 150, let's say 200. So let's say it's about 200 when the end of the Tanoim, and from then, from let's say 200 until approximately 500 was the era of the Amoraim. So it's 1500 years ago. Now we have a machlekes between Rabbi Yochanan and Rabbi Lazar. Both of them are Amiroim from Eretz Yisrael. That's why there's a Yud over there. Circle that, Rabbi. So don't be confused. This is not a Tana. Rabbi Yochanan is an Amira. And Rabbi Lazar, who is known often as a student of Rabbi Yochanan, or a contemporary of Rabbi Yochanan. And this is Rabbi Lazar ben Pedas. Yerushalmi calls him a lot of times Rabbi Lazar. By the way, whenever the Bavli quotes B'Marava Amri, and that in the West they said, it's usually referring to this Rabbi Lazar. So now we have a machlekes between Rabbi Yochanan and Rabbi Lazar, and the Gemara is going to be concerned that there was a machlekes Tanoim earlier about this, and we don't like when that happens. And the reason why is because why would Rabbi Yochanan and Rabbi Lazar say, I hold this, or I hold that, without quoting the earlier Tana that said exactly the same thing that he said. In other words, they should not have their own opinion. They should be saying the halacha is like that earlier Tana, and not making it like it's a brand new thing. So we're going to try to somehow learn their machlekes that it's not actually the same thing as what the Tanoim said. That's one of our issues. The second issue that we have over here is that we don't know who holds what. We're going to have to be like Sherlock Holmes and figure out which one is the one that said chayiv, which one is the one that said pater. It would be simple to say, well, Rabbi Yochanan's first, so Rabbi Yochanan says chayiv. Oh, Rabbi Lazar's second. Rabbi Lazar's the one that says pater, but it doesn't really work like that. Okay, let's see. So lema, let's say. This is usually in question form. It's kind of like I wrote let's say, but it's really like shall we say, man de mechayev, or whom that says chayev, or the one that says chayev, kirab meir, holds like Reb Meir. We had a Mishna and a Brisa earlier where we learned that that was a machlekes concerning mafkir nezakav. I mean, someone takes a some sort of container, he breaks it on the floor, and he says that it's ownerless, and someone gets damaged by that. So the one that says chayev over here, which is either Rabbi Yochanan or Rabbi Lazar, he would hold exactly like Reb Meir, who in the Mishnah and the Brisa held chayev. Uman de pater kerabanan, and the one that says pater is like holds like the Rabbanan, which is Rabbi Yehuda in the Mishnah or the Rabbanan in the Brisa, that said that you're pater when you take something and you break it and you make it ownerless. Now, that seems to be a statement, but it's in question form, and the reason why it's in question form is, like I said, that why didn't they say chadam chayev? Why didn't he say chadam ar halacha kirab meir v'chadam ar halacha kirabanan? Why didn't they do it like that? Why'd they have to say it on their own? So we don't like to have that. where a machlekes amiroim should be exactly like the machlekes Tana. So the Gemara answers and says like this: Aliba de Rab Meir kuli alma loy pligi. Actually, aliba means according to. According to Rab Meir, kuli alma loy pligi. This is kuli alma means everyone, right? Or the whole world. Loy pligi does not argue. Everyone holds that Rab Meir holds that you're chayev. In other words, both Rabbi Yochanan and Rabbi Elazar hold that what Reb Meir holds is that you're chayiv. There's nothing you can do. There's nothing you can discuss about that. There's no machlekes about Reb Meir's opinion. Ki pligi, when do they argue? Aliba de Rabbanan, according to the Rabbanan. So in other words, they're not saying that I paskin like Reb Meir and another one saying I paskin like the Rabbanan. No, both of them are going according to the Rabbanan. And they're both arguing what is the opinion of the Rabbanan. So we've just avoided that problem of, we have a machlekes amiroim that's also a machlekes tanaim. No, it's not true. It's not a machlekes tanaim. It is a machlekes tanaim, but the machlekes amiroim is not each one picking a tana to hold like. The machlekes amiroim is what does this individual tana, or the Rabbanan, which is maybe is a plural group, we learned that it was Rabbi Yehuda, what do they hold? Man de pater, the one that says that you're pater k'Rabbanan, that's easy. The Rabbanan said that you're pater. On mafkin azakav, if you break something on the floor, and then you don't bother collecting the pieces because you don't want the pieces anymore. They say that the Rabbanan hold that you're pater, and the one this one chadam or pater, the one that says that you're pater. Let's see if I can do this easy. I'll do chadam or pater. Actually, let's take a totally separate color. I'll take this color here to do Chad Amar Pater. That will go there. And then I'll put it there. Chad Amar. Manda Pater is Karabanan. Okay, we got it. The one that says Pater is the Pater. Let's get another color for our take a yellow. Manda Mechayev. Let's do the Manda Chad Amar Chayev. Now, Manda Mechayev, the one that says Chayev. Try to get this. Amalach, what would he say? Anoda Amri, Afilu Lerabanan. Amalach, he will say to you, Ana means I, like Ana Avda the Kutshabrichu. I am a servant of Hashem. So Ana means I. It's similar to the Hebrew Ani. Ana the Amri, I would say Afilu Lerabanan. Even according to the Rabbanan, I say Chayev and the Rabbanan say Pater. So I'll explain it like this. Ad Kan, until here, Loi Patri Rabbanan, the Rabbanan did not say your Pater, Ella b'mafkir nezakav, only in a case of mafkir nezakav when you made it ownerless dehacha. Dehacha means of here. Hacha means here, and dehacha means of here. What does of here mean? Well, I wrote over there in the case of Niskal. Why did they say their Pater? The reason why they said that the Rabbanan said Pater is because how did it get on the floor? You slipped. Now, you slipped, that's an accident. So, Mishum da Anasu, because that's an accident. So, because that's an accident, so they don't make you chayev even though you didn't pick up the pieces, because the original way that it got there was an accident. So the Rabbanan said Pater, and I would agree with them that you're Pater in that case. Aval, but mafkin azakav da alma, in a general case of mafkin azakav, when you actually break it on purpose, mechayvi. I would say that the Rabbanan would hold that you're chayev. So this is a machlekes concerning if someone breaks something on purpose and you don't pick up the pieces because you don't want to keep the pieces. So the one that says that you're chayev says that the Rabbanan would also say chayev in that case. The one that says that you're pater would say, one second, I know the Rabbanan say pater, they said pater. So he has no problem. The Rabbanan said pater. And it's only the one that says chayev that has to explain that why did the Rabbanan say pater, because the way it got there was by accident, but here it got there on purpose, so you should be chayev. Just want to point out something. First, let's look at this Rashi, very interesting Rashi, and then we'll do one line of Tosfos. Rashi says like this: Aliba de Rab Meir, according to Rab Meir, kuli alma lo pligi, no one argues. The hashta, because now. Behifkir nizakav haba al yedei oinas mitchila mechayev. Let's put a comma in there. If you're mafker the debris and it came haba'al yidei oinus, it came through an accident mitchila. Originally, it got there through an accident. You're going to be chayev. So kolshkin for sure. Hefker, when you make it ownerless. Shetchilase baratzon, when it got there willingly, which means on purpose, like with a pshia. For sure, you should be chayev. So I added in a word here. I wrote habal yedei oinus. I added in the word niskal, and what I'm trying to avoid is that Reb Meir really never said that you should be chayev if the debris got there by accident. What Reb Meir said is that if the debris got there in a case of niskal, by slipping, which Rabbi Yehuda considers an accident, or which is not a real, even according to Reb Meir, it's not a real pshia. It's just we'll make you chayev as if it's a pshia, but we're going to consider it like an accident, or it's a lesser category of negligence. So, and over there you're chayiv. So for sure, if you're totally negligent, for sure, or like break it on purpose, for sure you should be chayiv. So in other words, we know that the machlekes here of mafker nezakov. Let's bring this up a drop. Mafker nezakov, where chadam or chayiv, chadam or pater. We know that the machlekes here is referring to where it was broken b'pshia. And Reb Meir for sure says chayiv. There's nothing to argue about what Reb Meir's opinion is. And the question is just what's the Rabbanan's opinion? Because maybe they only said pater in a case of where it was broken in an accident. I just want to point out what Tosfos says. Tosfos says over here, the kimle. Kimle means it's like an accepted fact to us. The b'mafker nizakov de pshia pligi. We know that this Gemara is talking about mafker nizakov of pshia, where it was broken on purpose or in a negligent way, and then you made it ownerless. And that's the question. I don't want to confuse you, but there would be a way of learning this entire Gemara the opposite way, where the machlekes would be about Einas. And Tosfos tells us, do not take that path. The machlekes here between Rabbi Yechon and Rabbi Lazar is a case of pshia, where the way that it got there was in a case of negligence, and there's a machlekes what the Rabbanan would hold. Remember this chart from before? Let's see if I can move this over. Oops. Maybe I lost the whole thing, but the machlekes between Rabbi Yehuda and Rabbi Meir was concerning if it got there in a way of pshia, where Rabbi Yehuda would say that you're pater, and Rabbi Meir would say that you're chayev. This column is if you keep it, of course you're going to be chayev. This is if you're mafker it, and this is if you're mafker it. So this is Rabbi Yehuda, this is Rabbi Meir. Rabbi Meir held that if it fell b'pshia, you're going to be chayev, and that there's nothing to discuss. And in this case, you would be pater. This is just if you remember this, what we learned before. Okay.